time to take a sharp look at the Transformers movie franchise. We are ranking them from S to F. First up is Transformers, 2007. As the film that launched the franchise, it successfully brought our childhood nostalgia to the big screen. It perfectly balanced commercial entertainment with a tribute to the source material, redefining robot combat with mind-blowing visual effects. The scene of Blackout's first transformation remains an absolute classic to this day. While the plot was straightforward, the friendship between Sam and Bumblebee, and the first contact between the Autobots and humanity, were handled just right. Optimus Prime's leadership, Megatron's menace, and Bumblebee's loyalty all left a lasting impression. Overall ranking, S. Next is Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen. This sequel took the action to a whole new level. The visuals of the pyramid battle and the forest fight were far more impactful than anything in the first film. New elements like the Combiners lived up to fan expectations, satisfying the pure desire for more robot brawls. The pacing is faster, the fighting is more intense, and there is more humor than in the original. However, the storyline is all over the place with constant plot holes. The Fallen feels like a villain without any real depth, and the human subplots feel like they're taking way too much screen time away from the Transformers. Overall ranking, A. The third one is Transformers, Dark of the Moon. This is arguably one of the most complete films in the series. The Battle of Chicago stands as the peak of the franchise's action sequences. That 40-minute urban destruction set piece was absolutely mind-blowing, especially in IMAX 3D. The plot tried to elevate the scale of the series by introducing the Apollo moon landing conspiracy and the Cybertronian Civil War. However, the change in lead actress made the emotional arc feel disconnected, character development was thin, and the product placement was way too distracting. The pacing was uneven, too, starting off slow and tedious before finally ramping up. Overall ranking, A. The fourth one is Transformers, Age of Extinction. This kicked off a new trilogy, attempting to revitalize the franchise with a total cast refresh and fresh elements. Optimus Prime riding a Dinobot during the Battle of Hong Kong was a genuinely cool concept, and the IMAX 3D cinematography certainly kept the visual spectacle high. But at nearly 3 hours long, it felt incredibly bloated and dragging. The drama was boring, the plot logic was all over the place, the human villains' motivations were a joke, and new characters like Galvatron lacked any real depth. Plus, the rampant product placement completely ruined the movie's atmosphere and narrative flow. Overall ranking, B. The fifth is Transformers, The Last Knight. This is widely considered the absolute low point of the franchise. It's a classic case of having way too much ambition but zero execution. The movie tries to force-feed mythology by grafting King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table into the Transformers universe, but it just ends up as a messy, incoherent disaster. In its 150-minute runtime, it juggles multiple storylines that make zero sense. Optimus Prime's turn to the dark side and back is treated like a total joke, and Cade suddenly becoming the Last Knight feels unearned and forced. Every character is just a plot device, and the action sequences have completely run out of imagination, leaving us with nothing but repetitive explosions. Overall ranking, F. The sixth is Bumblebee. This was a successful pivot for the Transformers series. It returns to the retro vibes of the 1980s, bringing back Bumblebee's classic VW Beetle look. The scale of the action is scaled back but much more refined. The opening battle on Cybertron, while short, perfectly recreated the look and feel of the original animated series. However, the film is a bit light on the fighting, the pacing is relatively slow, and some of the plot twists are a little cliché. It leans heavily into being heartwarming, and while the cute pet portrayal of Bumblebee is likable, it feels a bit manufactured at times. Overall ranking, B. The seventh is Transformers, Rise of the Beasts. It introduces the Maximals and Unicron, attempting to expand the Transformers universe, and the 90s nostalgia paired with the Latino lead character offers a nice change of pace. But it fails to solve the fundamental problems. The plot is formulaic and lacks any real surprise. The human lead storyline is pretty dull, the character development is flat, and there's no real chemistry between the human characters and the Autobots. The action scenes are passable but lack any real innovation, and the final battle feels rushed. It basically boils down to just robots transforming and mindless CGI, relying way too much on nostalgia. Overall ranking, C. 8th is Transformers 1. This animated film is hands down the best reviewed entry in the franchise in over a decade. It goes back to basics, focusing entirely on the planet Cybertron and diving deep into the tragic journey of Optimus Prime and Megatron as they transition from brothers-in-arms to bitter rivals. The animation format really liberates the imagination, allowing for a brilliant showcase of Cybertron's mechanical aesthetic. The plot is tight and punchy, the emotional foundation is solid, and it finally delivers the character depth that the live-action films have been missing for so long. Without any human characters getting in the way, the world building feels complete and consistent, and the characters are fully fleshed out. Overall ranking, A.